Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Jen and Elke Show for another episode of how we're going to help you be a better designer on Zazzle. And today we are going to focus on a really cool technique where we're going to show you actually using a keychain photo collage type design, how you can use the Overlay Opacity Effect on Zazzle. And yeah, that's kind of detailed, but it'll be fun.
So let's dive in. Oh, sorry. Let's dive into it. So I have a keychain open on Zazzle. Obviously, you need to be logged into your account before you start posting a product for sale. But I'm on Zazzle.com and I've opened up a keychain, and we're going to go into the design tool here. And I've already uploaded my layers just for the purposes of this tutorial. But what you're going to need is a photo, and then we are going to choose a shape. And also, if you want to put a text overlay on top, that's what the whole tutorial is all about. So let's say you have a photo, and I've uploaded a photo of 3 friends here, and I want to put the words besties on top, but I can't really see this word here because of what they are wearing and also the type of photo. I mean, you can kind of see it, but it's not really the greatest visual aspect of it. So what I have uploaded is an element. So I've clicked on a square. You can do it with any element and also any photo, but I've chosen for this tutorial to show it with a square. So I'm going to go and unhide my layer here. And I have done a black square, and the opacity has been changed. This is a new feature that you can scroll down on the menu here. And originally, when you upload a square or a shape or anything, the opacity is going to be at 100%. So obviously this doesn't look good. I've chosen black to go on top of my photo because I want the white text to show up nicely, and I can play around with the opacity so that I can still see the girls in the background. It's muted because the black is actually giving it that effect, and now I can see the word besties on top a lot better. And you can see even my opacity isn't even really that high. I've got it at 20%, and that makes it look so much better than even 0% here. So you can play around with that. You can even change, for example, because I've chosen a square, which is a shape, you can change the color. Let's say you wanted it to have like a pink effect to it or a blue effect to it. This is kind of adding a little bit of an addition to a filter, but I've chosen black. Black and white are really good to use, especially if you have a photo that is very dark. You can add a white opacity to it. And because this one here, I wanted to have the white text on top, I've chosen black. So this effect also can be applicable to, and I'm just going to take off the word besties here, to photos as well. I don't see the point of making this a faded photo, but if you wanted to, you could definitely make it faded and have that effect as well. And then let's say we wanted the word besties to be on top, and you want to choose it to be a black color now. That also looks kind of cool. So you can really play around with, being creative about how you can use this opacity opportunity to make really cool designs. And it's also applicable to the font as well, which is kind of cool. So you have a lot of opportunities to play around with things to make really cool photo effect / opacity effect and overlay effect things on the Zazzle platform and make your products really creative and cool and utilize that opacity option.
I just love that. Now, the only thing that what some designers might be asking, and I'll answer your question right now, is sometimes people have been using in the past a gradient opacity image to put over top of the area where you're going to put your text so that it slowly grades to 0. And then there's not a line in there before it hits the photo, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise you would see that. So that's not possible, like a sliding scale gradient. But I like how Jen has used what is there in new different ways that are normally not something you would have thought of as a way to use a gradient for dealing with that text overlay situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to show that now or not. But
I'm just going to quickly showcase what Elke means here, because I do have the rectangle here. And so like Elke said, this rectangle, I can move it down, and a gradient would be gradually darker at the bottom, and then it would be darker at the bottom and then gradually get to sort of a faded out, and there would be no bleed line or straight line. But you can see this here. If I change the opacity and make it a little bit darker, then it's going to go and cut it off right there because it's the square. If you were to find some sort of shape on the Zazzle tool design tool that you could play around with to kind of mimic what a gradient would look like, then you can definitely play around with that. But here, because I chose this square shape, it will still keep the outside edges, and it's not technically a gradient, it's just an overlay. And gradients have been made previously within Photoshop and other graphics designs programs. So unfortunately, that is just a little bit of a drawback. However, you can still be very creative doing overlays to make things look really nice and professional.
Oh, I know. I think that these are really great options. And now that you've shown us those, I'm sure there's people that are starting to go like, ooh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. So, and if you're interested in learning some of these really cool design techniques, the Design Divas is exactly where you need to be. Our membership for Zazzle designers that love designing is the Design Divas. We just started it in June. We already have so many members and they love it. And the link is in the description below. You cannot not learn things each time because there are so many cool things that Zazzle keeps adding. There's also cool understanding more of how to make a Zazzle products really like spot on so that you can start making those best sellers rather than just a simple design that you thought was great but is not going to ever sell, which is unfortunate. But it's one of these things where practice makes sellers. And so you've got this really great opportunity to join right now and love the Zazzle designing membership, Design Divas. Come be a diva with us, and we would love to have you in this membership.
And the link is in the description below to join. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the community. Bye.